Tammy Gillen, 1010 Hardwood Court. I support regional economic development and collaboration and communication in the area. But before we would formalize an agreement with Athens-Clarke County, I think there are three things that need to happen. And I'd like to get your input and opinion on these three things. The first is I think that Oconee County will have to be an equal financial partner in the relationship. I think that it will take both of us coming in at 50-50 so that one county does not feel that the other county has an upper hand. So we have to be equal partners financially. Now the problem that we're facing is that we don't have the monies right now. So I think strategically we would have to think about how we would come up with that funding. Secondly, Athens is going to elect a new mayor and several new commissioners in November. And I think that we need to wait to see who these new leaders are and then get their input on regional economic development and collaboration. And then third, Matt Forshey, as we know, is the new director of the Athens-Clarke County Economic Development Foundation, and he's only been on the job for a couple of weeks. And I think we need to give Matt at least 12 to 24 months to kind of get settled in, to assess what he thinks is the potential for regional economic collaboration, and for him to cultivate and develop a relationship with Rusty Haygood, our Economic Development Director. Once we've had this time pass, then I think we could go and ask Rusty and Matt for their input and their feedback on how we could possibly move forward with a formal partnership with Athens-Clarke County. So these are the three things that I think that should happen or should take place before we move forward. I had conversations today with representatives with both the Athens and Oconee chambers, and they said they would also be in favor of this. So this is directed to all four commissioners. I just wonder what your opinions would be.
The purpose tonight is basically focused on Oconee County. That's fine, you want to talk about the regional. It's important to note that the regional economic development plan that was developed was from community leaders from both counties, and we're trying to talk about funding. Oconee County does spend a great deal of money under the flag of economic development. What we're saying, or what I'm saying, is the money we're spending, is it being spent effectively with the best results for Oconee County? And that's what the question is. The whole, what was your other question?
Well, about the new leadership in Athens and then giving Matt time to get acclimated.
Right, the new leadership, I think that's one of the things that was impressive to me about the change of the region to a regional approach and the plan that was submitted was that some of that politics and changing stuff every 3 or 4 years kind of gets out of it. You got a professional group of people working, you got business leaders, community leaders in there that understand business and can get in there and function with it. So we are spending a bunch of money. We do have money available. We're kind of split up here on whether that regional approach is, so nobody's pushing that at this point. But the main thing is, and the reason I'm trying to push this, is something's got to be done different than we've done in the past. We've got to have a vision. That's what we're here. How do you want to do that? And what method do we need to proceed so that we do have a good vision for Oconee County?
Tammy, the proposal that was on the table for a while called for exactly that, an equal partnership financially between the two counties. And that was what a lot of the objections I heard was that was an equal partnership financially. That Athens-Clarke had 100,000 people, we only had 30,000. Why should we pay just as much? So I don't know if your point is valid in that regard or not. It may be, but it may not be, depending on which person you talk to. As far as whether we need to wait, I think we've proved, I think it's pretty much a dead issue. I don't think there's been any discussion about it now in several months. In fact, I think that's why Athens-Clarke hired Matt Forshey, is they recognized that we weren't going to come and join that particular group with them. So, I don't know how to answer your question because I don't understand altogether where the question's coming from.
I think what I probably had, I was not in favor, and I'm not in favor of it now. I won't be in favor of any endeavor unless I see how the taxpayers of this county are impacted positively. I didn't see that then. Athens-Clarke has been in that business for a long time, and we are fledgling when it comes to infrastructure. So I want to make sure that our taxpayers benefit. And let me put it to you this way, as I see it. Everything that goes into the university or business goes into Clarke County, we're getting their high-paid folks out here because the school system not paying a dime. We're getting that right now. So when I look at, is there revenue share? If I'm voting to put money into an endeavor, and a project goes to Clarke County, am I going to get something other than what I'm already getting for free? Because our school system needs some of that money too. And if I remember right, in this endeavor, any kind of revenue sharing was on the back end, maybe, on down the road. So I'm not going to vote for something just because it's regional or I get Oconee's name on a piece of stationery. I'm not going to do that. And so, but here, let me also say this. I have always been supportive of working with Clarke County if I saw a benefit to revenue. I'm on an authority with them now on 316. I went over to Huntsville with Mayor Davidson last Thursday when we had it before. So I'm open, but I want to see how we benefit. They do have a new mayor, and I think some other folks running for office. And I think that's going to be critical to find out where those people are. But again, I'm not close to working with Clarke County, but I want to make sure that we benefit, not just giving them money.
Well, I concur with most of my colleagues, and I've answered this quite a bit in the last few forums. There was never any doubt that we would be equal partners as far as funding putting into the project. Would we reap equal benefits was always the question that caused me concern with the project. The other reason that I had some reservations about it was that in this proposal, we would lose our economic office. And as I've stated before, our economic office is so different from Clarke County's office. The proposal plan for us to close our doors, form a new board, and move to the chamber in Athens-Clarke County. It's difficult for someone, and they would open the jobs up. So Matt wouldn't be guaranteed a job, Rusty wouldn't be guaranteed a job. You could have a whole new person coming in, and it's hard to serve two masters. Who are you going to fight the hardest for? Could we eventually get past that in politics? We would hope so. Concerning Matt Forshan, the new mayor and new commissioners, I agree. They need to get there. It takes a full year to understand what you're doing in this job. The good thing is Matt Forshan's from here. He was our first economic development person. So he has the basic knowledge of Oconee and Clarke County. Because in the past, we've worked, and we still work with Clarke County. We've never put our hands up and say, oh, this company might come more on our side than your side. We don't want to work with you. We'll do our own thing. We've always worked together to put proposals together for companies looking to come to this area. The difference is our economic development office still looks at the mom and pop stores in Oconee County, and they continue to work with them and to give them information as they need it.